Hello everyone, my name is Proxy, and welcome back to another CreepyPasta read, but this one I actually mentioned when I was in my my last video. This one will be from Mr. CreepyPasta, and this one is probably name is I should never have played Pokemon Go. I've played the game and I hated it, and I got rid of my version. I'm more of the original. I know all the original Pokemon. But because Pokemon Go is only first to, I think they're adding second generation now, but I don't know. But only first generation, I'm not in the mood to play because I'm already pre-ordered my Pokemon Moon. Yeah, I'm waiting for that. But I am waiting for this video. I have not even seen this yet. I heard a post from it that it was added, but I never saw it. I am so happy to see this.
I don't know what to do. I don't even know if any of this is real. I'm telling you all this so you know the truth. And so you can stay safe. Don't take this as a story. Take it as a warning.
Oh, I know this fucking music. I hated this stuff.
Ever since I was a child, I loved Pokemon. I loved how it was such a social game and so fun. The characters, the creatures, the world, it all drew me in. So imagine my surprise when they announced that you could soon be able to play in real life. Walk around the world in real time, see your favorite Pokemon in real world locations, meet people playing the same game. It sounded like a dream come true. And it became available. I started to download it. I was shaking, thinking about all the fun that I would have, the people I'd meet. And little did I know I should have been shaking from an entirely different reason.
What's that symbol?
Last night I was in my room, messing around on my phone. I went on PokemonGO to claim my reward for the Pokestop located just close enough to my room that I could access it from my bed. And after I got some much desired Pokeballs, I decided to check out my nearby tab to see if anything rare was in my area. Much to my surprise, I saw this. It's weird, I thought. It obviously doesn't look like any Pokemon in the series. I wrote it off as either a graphical glitch. It's not like Pokemon Go is free of its glitches, or some rare Easter egg in reference to a mysterious Pokemon named Unknown. I screenshotted it and sent it to my friend Julie, asking if she'd heard anything similar. Julie, who was too into astrology and Pokemon for her own good, told me that the symbol was for the hangman. And I told her that she was out of her head. She insisted, though, telling me it meant letting go and sacrifice. I definitely thought that was weird. What was some tarot symbol doing in a Pokemon game? I figured she was mistaken, told her good night, decided to try and fall asleep. I lied down, closed my eyes, and started to drift away. And this was until I started to regret becoming friends with Julie. Angrily, I opened my phone to see what she was texting me about. You have to check it out. Go pursue it. You may have some kind of cool discovery. What if you're the first person to find something completely new? My psychic says something exciting was in the future for someone I'm close to. It never ended. Julie was always a little much. I muted the conversation and tried to go back to bed. Tried being a keyword. My mind was racing with the possibilities of what it could be. Annoying as she was, what if she was right? This could be the next Pokemon mystery. Slightly hating myself for doing so, I opened PokemonGO. I clicked the nearby tab to see if it was still there. It was, but now it was only 2 footsteps away, meaning it was closer than the last time I checked. I thought. Weird. In my experience, Pokemon never come closer to you. You have to go closer to them. Admittedly spooked, I closed the app, told myself that I was crazy, and closed my eyes again. What's all this about? The symbol for sacrifice appeared in my game, and it started coming towards me. Since at this point I was too intrigued to fall asleep, I looked up the hangman. It's described as the most mysterious card in the tarot deck. It suggests sacrifice, or surrender, is the best option. I thought that this was interesting. If surrender is the best option, should I give up on this? I wanted to, but it was just too fascinating. The symbol completely goes against the theme of Pokemon. There's no way the developers purposely would have included it. I was lost in thought. And when I heard a loud gasp from my parents' room. Gross. That's probably my parents having sex in there. God knows I've walked in on them doing it before. Cringing at that thought, wanting to solve this mystery and dying to get as far away from my fornicating parents as possible. I opened PokemonGO so I could go out and find the hangman. I opened the nearby tab and let out a little gasp myself. It's now only a footstep away. It's now very close to me, I thought to myself. How unusual. This thing went from being very far away to very close, completely on its own. I got terrified. That's just not how the game works. I got a terrible feeling, sick to my stomach. I had to get out of my house. I slipped out of my door, passing my parents' room. I could see from the shadows under the door that there was a lot of movement, and I could faintly hear heavy breathing. It was disgusting. I felt even worse and got out of my house. I wanted to find this thing, but at the same time, I wanted to go away. How could this be happening? It was just approaching me. One footstep at a time, coming closer and closer to me. I walked in a beeline straight away from my house. If this thing was coming towards my house, I wanted away. So I walked to the nearest Pokestop and rested there. I checked my phone, dying to see if the hangman was still close to me. My thumb glided towards the nearby button. I wanted so badly to know. I realized how silly I probably was. It's Pokemon, for God's sake, and yet I truly felt like I was dealing with something terrible. I hesitated, holding my breath, closed my eyes in fear and pressed the button. I opened them to disbelief. It was completely gone. Nothing nearby but a Venonat and a Jigglypuff. I sighed with relief and felt like a royal idiot. It's Pokemon. There's not some astrology-based entity haunting me. It's just a graphical glitch. Nothing more, nothing less. Just in my head nonsense. Laughing at how afraid I was a second ago, I decided to go back home. Some silly hangman being the last thing in my mind. And once I got home, I drifted past my parents' room as fast as possible, only to realize it was completely silent and completely still. I put my ear to the door to confirm that they were done being perverts, and much to my satisfaction, they were. I said, "I'm going to bed, good night." To no response. It's weird. They're not asleep since the lights were still on, and they always say good night to me. I knocked on the door. No response. The thought of the hangman came into my mind, and I suddenly felt very heavy. Did something happen to them? What the hell's going on? I began to open the door, feeling my heart beat out of my chest. The high squeaking of the door made me cringe. The gust of cold air from inside the room made me shiver. But the sight I saw when the door was completely open made my heart drop to the ground. The tears welled up in my eyes. My vision began to narrow. My head hurt. Across from me was the bodies of my parents lying in a pool of their own blood. I fell to the ground. Their throats were completely slit open, blood all over the floor and wall. My mind was blank. There was no way this was real, I thought. I was completely in shock. I just knelt there, staring at my dead parents, mouth agape. My body was shutting down. It was only when I looked up that I noticed. Drawn crudely on the wall above the warm bodies of my parents was the symbol. It all came rushing back to me. I was right. Julie was right. It wasn't some graphical glitch. It wasn't a figment of my imagination. It cut open my parents' necks. I felt furious. I pulled out my phone. I had to call the cops. Whatever killed my parents couldn't be far. I unlocked my phone and it opened to my most recent app, PokemonGO. But what I saw next to me made me drop my phone into the pool of my parents' blood. The symbol of the hangman, it was right behind me. I clicked it just as you would any Pokemon within the vicinity. I held it up to the wall, seeing if it would reveal something. Nothing. I slowly turned around, dying to see what would be there, yet dying to stash away my phone and forget anything happened. I turned slow as a snail, terrified of what it would reveal. I quickly snapped it towards the door, where the map said that it would be. The opening revealed the grim darkness of the hallway, but there was no hangman at all. I lowered my phone, shaking in fear of whatever might be standing in the darkness, when two dirty, long-nailed hands grabbed me from the ceiling. It pulled on my head, lifting me off the ground by my hair. I screamed in pain, swinging back and forth, kicking and thrashing wildly. I was flying helpless, and I caught myself in a spider's web. In that moment, I was the hangman. I dug my nails into the thing's papery skin, piercing its flesh like it had done to my parents a few moments earlier. It let out an inhuman cry and dropped me. My hands were covered in its cold and sticky blood. I peered up at the ceiling, seeing where it hung. It gazed down at me with large black eyes, long black hair dangling down, feet bound together and tied to the ceiling. It made a grin, revealing its sharp row of teeth. I stared up at it like a child, standing before an abusive father. I felt smaller than I'd ever felt before. Wielding its long, sharp nails, it cut the rope, binding it to the ceiling, and on all fours crawled out the door at an inhuman speed, leaving behind a trail of its dark blood. I opened PokemonGO and checked the nearby tab. 1 footprint away. 2 footprints away. 3. Then, like a drop of water in the ocean, it was gone. I just called the cops. I'm recording this from my room as I can't bear to look at my parents' bodies. I'm waiting for their arrival, nervously checking the nearby tab on my phone frequently. I think it's gone for good. So for the love of all that's holy, delete PokemonGO. Don't hesitate. Don't mistake my message. I know I should never have downloaded it. So learn from me and stay safe, or else you'll find yourself the next victim of the hangman.
Okay. Sorry for that. I kind of zoned in there. Wow. That's basically because I played Pokemon Go. I never was near a Pokestop or any of that because basically where I live is not that near that many of them. But I played it for a bit, but kind of because it got boring to me because I caught only first generation. That's really what I didn't like about it. But if this was real, and I noticed that at the beginning, one, if I knew what the symbol meant by the time when my friend told me, I would have told my uncle. Because I live with just my uncle. That's the thing. I live with my uncle and all that, and he basically, I would wake him up because he knows a lot about this stuff, and I would show him the symbol, and I guarantee he would tell us we need to get the hell out of here. Because if that thing was getting closer, man, that's not good. Because one, if I know Pokemon, and even in the Pokemon games, if you guys remember from that, Pokemon don't come to you. They don't. You come to them. Like, the good example is when you're in the water, or even in the tall grass, or in the sand. You have to find them. They find you. They don't find you. You have to run into it. That was the thing that made it more to the point where that didn't make sense. And one other thing, if my uncle got killed by that, if I had my uncle or my mom that doesn't live here with me anymore, live with the bus, but at the point if my mom or uncle got killed, first instinct, that thing tried to grab me by my head. I'm going to do the same thing the kid did, is try to make him let go. But I would then, if he's out of I would delete the game, for one. Well, no, that would be a bad idea, to delete the game. Because we wouldn't, that's my theory on this. If you delete the game, what happens if the symbol, that creature tries to come back? I think how this works in this game, how they're explaining this, if you keep this and you've already seen it and it didn't kill you, if you see that symbol getting close to you, run. But if you didn't have the symbol and it was after you, you would be the next victim and you would never even know it. But it gave me chills up my spine, but that was pretty good. This video was from Mr. CreepyPasta that I said at the start. If I had to rate this of how terrified I was, I would give it a 7 to near 8, just because at the end of the video, when it started explaining what the creature looked like, and basically seeing his mom and dad in the blood, that was the thing that made my hair stand up to the point there. And also the PokemonGO. It almost got to, I think it's a 7.9. I'll give that a 7.9. For the last video, for that one, I didn't do a rating on the the CreepyPasta Junior that I did. I would say that one was about the same. It's just because, yeah, we still don't know what was in that closet, and I'm still terrified. I'm still creeped out what was in the closet that made Charlie actually tell them to run. An imaginary friend tells you to run, you run. But also, I'll be posting these videos today. I'll be posting them and everything. But I love doing these because I love getting scared. It's part of my nature. And I guarantee whenever I get free time, I will do the sister location. But while I have a little bit of time, like maybe 30 minutes, I'll bang one of these out real quickly. Because they're only like 12 minutes or 5 to 6 minutes. But if you guys want me to do like an hour long one, that one I will make special, because I will make the point if you leave a comment or anything. Like if you leave down in like a comment that you guys want me to do like Jeff the Killer. I've heard the name. I have a picture of him on my wall, but I've never read his story. There's a lot of creepypasta characters I have on this wall, that on my ceiling on my wall, that I don't have name. I have not seen their story to. Like out of all of them, I've only seen 3 of them, and that would be Tiki Toby. But I would love to reread that again and react to it. I would say Eyeless Jack, and I love that one. I really did, and I would love to react to that one. And the last one, I would probably say the last one would be Clockwork, and I would love to do that one too. But for right now, I'm gonna be heading out very soon. But my name is Stitcher Proxy. And to all my creepy creatures out there, leave a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I'll leave a link down in the description for you. And hit me up on Twitter if you guys want me Twitter for all the videos. And to all my creepy creatures out in the night, happy Halloween.